This guy makes good news once a year. Okay, let's watch that first. Once a month, once a month.
$45 billion. Imagine all the good that could be done with just a fraction of that amount. Now, picture Indonesia.
I really don't know what I will do with 45 billion. I have no idea. I generally think I wouldn't change my life much. I will just kind of stream World of Warcraft all day for 200 viewers. I think I will actually just play World of Warcraft and be like, hello, my 200 viewers. Luckily, I don't care about money anymore, and we're playing World of Warcraft every day.
Because that's exactly how much money they're investing in free school meals for kids. This initiative is set to transform...
Sorry, but you need 45 billion to feed school children in a country like that? Fucking hell.
...form the lives of millions of malnourished children. But that's not all the
I'd buy Twitch and ban every streamer except Tommy.
From a groundbreaking study proving that our hearts can actually regenerate to $3 billion secured from New York City's first offshore wind farm. Here are the 10 best good news stories of the month. Let's get the ball rolling with some animal news, because gray seal numbers in the United Kingdom have increased dramatically.
Finally the good shit, man.
Coastal waters
Fuck yeah.
across the North Atlantic Ocean.
Yes,
in the United
baby.
Kingdom, a large population of them can be found near the village
Big
of Horsey
buck.
on the country's eastern coast. In 2002, a colony began to form there, and in that year, only 50 baby pups were counted. Now, that figure has exploded. Back in November of this past
can eat them.
year,
Thank you, Silver.
1,200 of these adorable little things were
Oh,
born.
1.2k, Alter. These fucking immigrant seals are taking our shores, man. They're breeding like crazy.
When it ends
Jesus
in
Christ.
January, experts have predicted that 2,500 more of them will be making
Damn.
an appearance. It's the same story south of Horsey too. In 2021, about
30 minutes where I
200
live.
seals established
I
a
visit them
colony
once in
at
a while.
beach in Orford Ness. Since then, the number of pups has increased by 5 times, meaning that the total population now stands...
Did you know the #1 name of new kids in the UK is baby seal? It's disgusting, guys.
600.
I feel like I
Now,
could have
the
made that joke a bit
reason
better.
Why this
I
is
fucked it up a
happening
bit.
isn't what you'd expect. It turns out that the construction
Good
of
groundwork of
offshore
the joke,
wind
but then
farms
fucked it up.
is the likely cause. That's because new habitats have formed underneath them. These underwater environments include vegetation, crustaceans, mollusks, and small fish that the gray seal feeds on. In addition, these metal obstacles are also useful because they keep boats far away from the coast. This means commercial fishing ships are unable to operate in their hunting grounds, leaving more food for the seals to feast on. There also seem to be some other factors at play. The appearance of more anchovies.
How can it be that seals make 13% of the nautic population, but they take up over half the beach space?
That is a good joke. That was a good joke. I didn't see the joke.
In English waters
That was good.
and a cleaner North Sea with less trash-covered beaches also seem to have encouraged...
Dude, it's mind-blowing. There's a lake where I live, right? A beautiful lake. I love it. And I go diving there in the summer, and you wouldn't believe how much trash I find. Dude, I'm a big snorkeling fan. I like to snorkel, diving on my own breath. And, dude, I go down in this sea that's 20 years old. It's only 20 years old. They made it 20 years ago. And there's so much plastic. You wouldn't believe... I wish I could stream underwater. That'd be a cool stream if I could somehow stream underwater. And I'm diving, and there's so much plastic everywhere. It is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And so sad.
From the known to the unknown, a new species of pangolin has been discovered.
Wow, amazing.
Native to parts of Africa and Asia, pangolins are the only
Goddamn.
mammals in the world that are entirely covered in scales. Similar to anteaters, these adorable creatures use their sticky tongues to gobble down ants and larvae.
Damn.
They also eat
He's eating those
termites,
eggs.
which help to protect trees in their natural environments. Unfortunately, though, the pangolin is one of the most trafficked animals in the world. That's because their scales and claws are used to make traditional Chinese medicines, while their meat is considered a luxury delicacy in some parts of Asia.
Obviously, it's the
They're
Asians
also
again,
kept as
bro.
exotic
Pixel is probably eating one right now, bro.
Although there's still a long way to go, progress has been made to tackle this trade. Just last year, Nigeria recorded the globe's largest pangolin scale seizure since 2020. In some cases, live pangolins are even being recovered.
Thank you, Ben
in these
Carlton, my brother,
operations.
man. Thank you, dude.
Recently, the DNA of some of these confiscated animals was analyzed by researchers at the Zoological Survey of India. When they got the tests back, they were shocked to find that one of their subjects was an entirely new species of pangolin. The Indo-Burmese pangolin, as they've decided to call it, diverged from the Chinese pangolin family tree a whopping 3.4 million
How do they
years
know
ago.
that?
Now
Thank you,
let's take a
Tondern.
peek at some recent medical advances.
Here we go.
Because a study has found evidence that heart...
Wait. We're getting hype trains in here. Toy 4 is still 80 minutes away, man. I want to play Toy 4 so bad. I'm super addicted to Toy 4 lately.
Muscles
Thank you, man.
can regenerate. Heart failure, when the heart doesn't pump enough blood to support the body, affects millions of people worldwide.
Isn't heart failure the #1 death cause of humans? I think so. Maybe someone fact check that, but I think heart disease is #1 death. Thank you, Cranial. Which you can really figure out with just working out into your age and eating better.
Who have it
in the
experience
West,
a nasty host of symptoms.
I think it's worldwide. Cardiovascular issues,
wheezing, coughing, and many more. Currently, there are only 2 ways to get rid of it. The first is
cancer is close second,
and the second is with a left ventricular assist device. This is a type of mechanical pump that's surgically inserted to help the heart pump blood to the rest of the body. Now, in
becoming
theory,
cyborgs.
the best and least intrusive method to mend would be if the heart itself regenerated. This is actually possible in newborn babies. That's because for a couple of days after birth, heart muscle cells still have the ability to divide, which means that they...
I remember when my kid was born, they did the test. Right after he was born, they did a test, and I was supposed to keep his arms up. And the doctor was listening, doing the thing with his heart. And he said, oh yeah, there's still a hole. And I'm like, what? And he's like, it's normal, it's gone in 2 weeks. What the fuck are you talking about? There's a little hole, it still needs to close. Okay, and it was closed after 2 weeks. I was like, what the fuck?
It can repair damage. But babies quickly lose this capacity as the body goes through fundamental changes. This is why, at least up until recently, scientists thought that adults couldn't do the same thing. But a new study has now flipped that belief on its head. It all started when an international research team led by the University of Arizona College of Medicine collected tissue from artificial heart patients. Then, using a cutting-edge carbon dating technique, the samples were evaluated to determine if there were any newly generated cells present. What they found was astounding. Those with artificial hearts regenerated muscle cells 6 times more than those with normal, healthy hearts. The results have seemingly confirmed years of previous findings, which support the idea that allowing heart muscles to rest encourages regeneration. That's because artificial heart pumps take over most of the work, allowing what's left of the organ to rest. This discovery will pave the way for more effective treatments, and it might even lead to a cure. Great strides have also been made in the fight against the most common form of dementia, because a key cellular mechanism driving Alzheimer's disease has been identified. Alzheimer's is a mental illness affecting older people.
I have it already, buddy.
Gradually lose their
so maybe a joke about this, but I already feel dementia
over time. Last year, we saw many positive developments in the battle to end it. 2 new risk factors, untreated vision loss, and high cholesterol.
Technocracy the best. I'm telling you all the time,
Clinical trials also showed that certain drugs
follow the science.
Slow it down. Well, I'm here to tell you that 2025 has started off on equally good footing here. The key to understanding this are cells called microglia. They're often dubbed the brain's first responders because they play a crucial role in maintaining brain health. But not all of them are helpful. That's because sometimes humans experience something called an integrated stress response.
Yeah, when I see a guy in shed, yeah.
This can be caused by things like
100 times a day.
Oxygen levels, a lack of glucose.
Zelensky is a fucking bitch.
ISR attack. Boop.
And viral infection.
100 brain cells gone.
Recently, it was discovered that when this happens, some microglia react by hurting the brain rather than fixing it. They do this by releasing harmful fats that damage synapses and neuron communication, causing Alzheimer's symptoms to worsen. To confirm this, scientists prevented this response from happening.
Can we give a shout out to rats and their massive balls
what a content.
for taking care of us?
On my seat. Tommy, do a flip.
Thank you, Silence. I can't do a flip.
Happening by blocking it in the brains of mice.
That is massive balls, man. Holy shit.
Synapse damage was significantly less.
You can even donate microglia. I'm not donating any of my brain shit, okay? Fuck you. I remember in school, I'll never forget that. Alzheimer's is you have these nerves in your brain, and nerves have these defense, these shells. They start with M. And Alzheimer's is that these are slowly falling apart, and then the nerve is pure, and that's really bad. I remember that. They had a name. Someone should know. Myelin? Myelin sheets. Myelin sheets, yeah. Yeah.
In addition, they also observed that the buildup of toxic proteins linked to the disease was reduced. The next step is to see if this can be done in humans.
Oh, the power plant of the brain.
It may be able to delay or even reverse the onset of Alzheimer's. For our last medical story today, we're going to talk about how a new blood group has been identified after a 50-year mystery.
Is it tiger blood?
In 1972, a blood sample
That's a
taken
reference
from
to Charlie
pregnant
Sheen.
woman left scientists scratching their heads. When viewed under a microscope, her red blood cells were missing a surface molecule that's present in 99.9% of humans. This unusual blood type was dubbed ANWJ negative. Since then, only a small number of people have been detected as having it. For decades, it was unknown how this unique variation came to be. That is, until the recent publishing of a paper from the University of Bristol. Researchers there have announced that this is an entirely new blood group called MAL.
How can that happen?
MAL references the myelin and lymphocyte protein that the missing molecule actually lives on.
Is it crazy that people out there are intelligent? Like, you're watching TommyKay all day, and I am TommyKay. We're kind of fucking like idiots, you know? These people are so intelligent.
According to their findings, the most common reason for being ANWJ negative are blood disorders and some types of
We're so lucky these intelligent people exist.
This molecule.
Swear to God.
It's only in extremely rare cases that this blood type is genetic. If you didn't already know, every gene in your body has 2 copies, because one is inherited
Thank you, Kath. Thank you.
from your mom, and the other one is given to you by your dad. With this in mind, researchers found that when both MAL genes are mutated, the end product is the ANWJ negative blood type. They proved
Isn't that bad if you're like treated and you need blood conserves? Isn't that bad?
this by adding
Only 50 people have this on Earth. Where?
a normally functioning MAL gene into ANWJ negative blood cells. After this intervention, the missing surface molecule appeared. Doctors will now be able to use these markers to determine whether a negative MAL is genetic or caused by blood disorders, cancer, or...
It's like all day long you listen to Trump content and you're like dumbed down, and then you listen to this shit and your brain is like, whoa, what?
medical problems. This
IQ
means
over
that if
80?
a patient is sick,
This is why
they'll be
feedback
able to
gaming is very
treat
quiet
the
right now in
need
chat.
much earlier. It'll also make it easier.
I just learned. Did you know that? Do you know when you're in the hospital, they put these clips on your finger and they know your oxygen in your blood? Do you know how that works? I just figured it out 2 days ago when my kid has surgery. Thank you, Nico. Did you know that? They put a clip and they know your fucking oxygen. And you know why? Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, there's like infrared sensor and it goes through your skin and it sees the oxygen in your blood traveling. Isn't that cool? Cool, right?
to find blood
He was checking my kid's blood and he said there's too much light. He turned the light lower and suddenly his oxygen went up. Oh, cool.
donors for those handful of individuals who are ANWJ negative genetically. Okay, let's see what's been going on in society in Belgium, which has become the first European Union country to ban.
But they're not banning cigarettes, are they, dude? Yeah. Dude, all of this makes me want to play democracy again. Dude, we know what we should do, chat? Ooh, that could be crazy content. Do you guys remember me playing Democracy 4, turning Germany into the best country ever? Imagine a USA run in Democracy 4. Ooh. Oh, ooh. Damn, that could be something. I gotta remember that. Good job, Bulgaria.
Ban the sale of disposable vapes. In the last few years, disposable...
I remember, I think about this all the time. You know how I fixed Germany in Democracy 4? I had to create a system which makes so much sense. It will never happen in real life, right? But UK already banned them? Okay. Germany wastes almost half of their funding into social welfare, aka pensions to old people. So what I did is, I made a system, I like to talk about this a lot. I did a system where I educated the German population so much that everyone invested in their own, even state-funded maybe, pension funds, meaning everyone's pension when they go into pension, when they're retired, is from their own capital, like investments and stuff. So the government didn't have to pay them their rent anymore. And all of a sudden, the government had 50% more money. Huh? Cool, right?
Vapes have emerged as a popular alternative to smoking.
Imagine vaping. If you're vaping right now, look at me, leave the channel. You fucking sissy. Go watch these hentai VTubers, you fucking loser. Imagine vaping, buddy. Dude. We have a lot of discussions here on this channel, right? We talk about stuff, but if we can agree on one thing, if you vape, man, you are... Holy shit, you suck, buddy.
35 million people use them recreationally or as a way to quit smoking. For the time being, vaping is viewed as better because there isn't any conclusive evidence that it causes cancer. On the other hand, there are many problems with these devices.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm almost done here. Can you wait for a second? I need 1 blueberry melon, I need 1 cinnamon cuck, and I need a little bit of that peach, your mom's asshole, okay?
And then he's always, the cashier's always, what? Oh yeah, I need the key, please. I need the key. 5 minutes later. So what was it? Blue Mary Sunshine? What did you want? No, excuse me. I wanted the fucking green grass peppermint, man. Fucking idiots, man. You're fucking adult. You're like fucking 35 years old, and you're like, yeah, I please want blueberry melon. Fuck's wrong with you?
Which run on a chemical called nicotine. Health-wise, nicotine addiction can increase your chances of having a heart attack because it increases blood pressure and heart rate. It can also negatively
imagine smoking, man. It's like the dumbest shit you can literally do on earth.
This causes...
I was fighting jiu-jitsu yesterday with an older man, and he was I think he was a great smoker. And we would like jiu-jitsu, and he would always go, bro, are you okay, man? Fucking hell. Dude, don't smoke. Come on, people.
Memory, attention, learning, and behavioral problems. It makes future addictions to other substances
cotton candy rainbow cock,
They're
please.
also terrible for the planet. That's because these throwaway single-use products contain batteries, circuit boards, and other components that can release toxic chemicals like lithium, cobalt, and copper into the environment. It's precisely because of these regions that Belgium has enforced a total ban on the sale of disposable vapes that came into effect this year. The measure is part of a growing international crackdown on vapes that was spearheaded by Australia, who passed a similar law last year.
I want to play Democracy 4 now, fuck.
Has the full support of EU powerhouses,
of disposable
France,
vapes,
Germany, Spain, and the Netherlands, who are also considering their own bans at this very moment. Okay, on to Indonesia now, which has just started a $45 billion free meal plan for malnourished children. It may be one of Asia's most populous countries, but it's also one of the worst when it comes to child malnutrition. The UN estimates...
I did smoke when I was younger, but it was dumb. I smoked socially. I would never smoke, but there was 2 reasons I smoked. It was just loser behavior. This is why I think if you smoke, you're a loser. Fix your fucking bullshit. You're literally paying someone to kill you, you fucking bitch. I smoked and that's a fact. Here's a statistic, that's a fact. If you smoke on work, you have more free time. I was working in a supermarket, and if you would smoke, you connected one with the boss, and you would always go to the Laderampe. You would always go to the back, and you will have 30-minute smoke breaks. If you didn't smoke, you got no fucking breaks. They were always, hey, you want to have a smoke? We can take a 20-minute break. These idiots can take care of it, and you will have so much more free time if you smoked, man, right? And secondly, I was very, very insecure in clubs. I would often go to nightclubs, trying to get women, right? And I was very insecure. I never knew what to do with my hands. I didn't know what to do with my hands. So I was always like this. Left hand, right hand. This was me my entire 20s. And I was such a loser. It's so fucking weak. And I would always go to the smoking area because I hated social interaction. I was like cringing. I didn't know what to do. So I always went to the smoking area. I'm so cool. It was just fucking loser behavior. Just fucking bitch-ass behavior, buddy. But you will talk to girls in the smoking area, I remember. You have a lighter? I remember there was this one girl, man. Can you roll me a cigarette? And I'm like, sure. And I dropped everything, man. She was like, okay, fuck you, Ginger.
1 in 12.
Fuck her, though. Fuck that. Fuck smoking. Seriously. Dude, stop smoking. Fuck's wrong with you? The dumbest shit you can do on earth. My dad probably spent 200,000 euros in his life on cigarettes. Straight up.
Indonesian infants younger than 5
so dumb
are
to smoke.
Underweight, while 1 in 5 are much shorter than average. That's because despite being a nation with a fairly high average income, it's...
And nowadays, if you're smoke-free, my brother and my mom, they still smoke. And it's so disgusting when I'm around my brother. I love my brother, but he like smells, his breath smells like smoke. If you smell his like clothing, it stinks. Damn, you gotta stop smoking, boys. It's terrible.
Suffers.
Especially, and that's something I really believe in, and it's not a joke, when you have a kid. If you made someone pregnant and you're about to be a father, if you still... Stop smoking if there's a kid around. That's fucked up as hell.
Rampant inequality. To put this
weißt du, wo die Muffinförmchen sind? Nee, Lisa, ich habe keine Ahnung. Der hat die wahrscheinlich irgendwo versteckt, der kleine Affe. Ich weiß es leider nicht, meine Sonne. Lisa's making muffins. Blueberry muffins.
Perspective, the 4 wealthiest individuals in Indonesia have more money than the poorest 100 million combined. Those in less well-off communities are...
This got Pixel, one of these 4 people.
...unable to feed their kids a proper, well-rounded
Jesus.
diet, which is why there are so many malnourished children in the country.
Jesus.
This has been going on for quite some time now, which is why Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto has just launched a campaign to provide provide well over 80 million free healthy meals by 2029.
Wow.
It kicked off in the second week of January when 570,000
It's the vice president's plan for the next 5
children
years.
and pregnant women received the first batch. Not surprisingly, the program is
Indonesia,
not
Singapore,
without its
all the same. Come on.
controversies. Critics have argued that the $45 billion required to implement it over the next 5 years will plunge Indonesia into debt. The president sees things a little differently, though. He says his hallmark policy will provide a financial boost to rural regions.
Is it crazy that the 4 richest people could just pay for this, man?
Which will help to stimulate economic growth. Speaking of rural regions, let's move on to the environment with the news that the British National Trust is to restore nature across an area bigger than Greater London.
Cool.
For the past decade, the National Trust...
Man, that's so beautiful. I love that. Call me a German, I love that. Just walking here for an hour will make you free. I am telling you, Chet, I'm getting old now, man. If you take a walk in this for 1 hour, you will come back a different man. Your blood pressure goes down, you get new ideas, you feel more healthy. I'm telling you, man, walking in nature is healing, buddy.
Has been making the animals of their native United
So
Kingdom
fucking
very
good.
happy by restoring the habitats they call home. Over that period, they've revitalized more than 25,000 hectares of natural space that includes peatlands, meadows, wetlands, woodlands, and salt marshes. That's an area that's twice the size of Manchester. It's an incredible achievement, and Britain's foremost conservation organization.
Man, Britain is
now
beautiful.
has
I
set
fucking
its
love
sights
Britain.
higher. For its 130th anniversary, it's announced it's gonna do the same for a mind-blowing 250,000 hectares.
Wow.
That's an area equal to 1.5 times the size of Greater London and 10 times the amount
London is fucking big, huh? Holy schmitterines.
of land that they've already
Have you been? I've been to the UK, in Edinburgh and London, and I loved it. I love the UK. Beautiful country, man. Love it.
revived. This audacious but noble task
We're actually thinking of living there before the kid goes to school, like 6 months or something. Like, I mean, Lisa, I have a big dream. We want to spend pre-Christmas time, like November, December in Britain, because around me and Lisa love Christmas. We're big fans, and Britain is Christmas wonderland. It's so fucking beautiful.
will involve breathing new life into huge swaths of terrain, rather than small, isolated parcels of land.
Damn.
To give just one example, the trust
Why will beavers be used mostly in toothpaste commercials, right? If they have teeth like this, right? Yeah, you get stabbed in London. When was the last time you left the house? When your mom pulled you on a vacation to the fucking Baltic Sea, buddy?
purchased a massive tract of disused farmland in a place called Lunt in the north of England. There, they're literally going to create an entirely new branch of the Mersey Forest by planting over 90,000 trees all across the property. Real quick before we continue, we'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to
That's a good channel,
News
man.
for
It's a good
more
channel.
videos just like this one. It helps us a lot, so thank you in advance. Okay, next up, we're heading into the concrete jungle, as $3 billion has just been secured for New York City.
Think about that. It's kind of only $3 billion to make a wind park outside New York. $3 billion is nothing for Musk. $3 billion is nothing for the entire budget of maybe the state of New York or America. It's like kinda only $3 billion, man, right?
Offshore wind farm.
Think about
As
it.
the name suggests, offshore wind farms are usually located far out in the sea, where they transform the force of ocean winds into renewable electricity. It figures that this type of technology is extremely
I feel like New York is a thing you gotta see at least once in your life, huh? I guess.
viable in New York, which sits on the east coast of the United States. That's why Norwegian energy titans Equinor have announced $3 billion of further funding
they have
for
stocks?
the Big Apple's first offshore wind farm. The project, which is called Empire Wind 1, is situated about 25 to 50
They destroy the ecosystem. That is a very funny comment, because literally in the beginning of the video, he said that the wind farms are creating ecological systems on their bottom. They literally just said that.
kilometers southeast of Long Island. Work has actually already started on the 80,000 acre installation, which will make it about 100 times larger.
I always wondered my entire life, how big does Central Park feel? That's something I thought my entire life. Does it take 1 hour? Like, walking from here to here. Maybe 30 minutes? I want to feel how big Central Park is. I don't understand. There's even a golf course. Wow. 20 minutes? Shut up, this bullshit. Dude, I'm generally... One sec. How long would an adult walk through the length of Central Park at average speed? I would say 25 minutes. Oh, only 4. That's not that much. 50 minutes. Oh, wow. Okay, it's actually... Wow. I can't feel how big that feels. It's a great idea to have a massive park in the city. I like that they did that. It's like, hey, we're not building here, we're building a park. I think that's great.
Larger than Central Park. Once up and running in 2027, it's expected to provide power to...
To give a scale, this is the 5th largest offshore farm in the world, off the coast of where I live in the UK. Oh, damn, but yeah. Great thing, man. Probably a good investment.
500,000 households. The $3 billion investment will go some way towards covering the projected $5 billion it'll cost to use and redevelop the South Brooklyn Marine Terminal as the farm's logistical and operational center. Finally, it's worth mentioning that Donald Trump just passed an executive order that's temporarily suspended offshore wind projects on...
Holy shit! Trump is green? Trump is saying yes to this? Fuck yeah, man, he's my president. GG, man. Fuck you, Zelensky. We have wind parks now.
This doesn't apply to wind farms that are already in the middle of construction, like Empire Wind 1, which will likely go ahead as planned. But it's also likely...
He's suspended. Wait. Am I retarded? Trump orders... Oh, I thought he lifted it. He suspended the... Dawn, I just had hope. I was just... Oh, God. I'm sorry.
Projects on the US coastline. But this doesn't apply to wind farms that are already in the middle of construction, like Empire Wind 1, which will likely go ahead as planned. But it's also likely that Equinor's future Empire Wind 2 project will run into difficulties as a result, but nothing's confirmed yet. Okay, for our last entry today, I want to start by asking you a question. What's the feeling you get when you hear good news? What's that emotion that we're all craving more of? The answer is, of course, happiness. And the world's longest ever study on it may have just revealed...
Whoa, now we're getting in... Look, she's a ginger. She ain't fucking happy on the beach, my friend. I'm telling you that.
...the secret to it. This world's longest study was conducted by the Harvard Medical School and Massachusetts...
You know what happiness is? When a non-sub becomes a sub, man. That's what we need. Tommy needs a podcast? I mean, this is a podcast, isn't it?
...Massachusetts General Hospital, tracking thousands of people over the course of 85...
Oh, that hurt my brain. Oof.
5 years.
Happiness to me is the ability to do what you truly want to do. If you can do what you really want to do, that's real happiness.
The key finding is that the major factor
if nothing blocks you from doing what you want
is good relationships.
And
the
succeeding in
happiest
it.
And healthiest individuals.
An oiled up ghetto booty? Oh man, now you know what I'm gonna fucking Pornhub tonight, dude.
Closest connections with other people. They also lived the longest out of everyone. In other words, fostering deep relationships with others is the key to achieving lifelong happiness.
Well, that's missing in the Hoi4 community.
Yes. So, what do you...
That was it, the longest study ever. It's like, yeah, have friends. What the fuck? Longest study ever. Yeah, have like friends, okay?
What are you waiting for? Get out there and start connecting. And
don't tell him to get out. Okay, calm down, man. Capitalism is over. Did I check his last video? Because we still have 1 hour, chat. We still have 1 hour. I think I haven't seen this. 11 days ago. He's uploading more often now. I think he's uploading more often, yeah.
From the development of a cancer drug that has a 100% success rate and Brazil's poverty rate reaching an all-time low, to a project that has seen bumblebee populations shoot up 116 times over, these are the 10 best news stories of the month.
Thank you, man.
To start things off, we're focusing on animals and on Scotland, where bumblebee populations have increased 116 times over because of a remarkable rewilding project. In the UK, bumblebee numbers are in pretty bad shape. Out of 28 species, 8 are now at risk because their populations are shrinking. But here's the good news. Projects like Rewilding Denmark Field are proving that if we let nature do its thing, we can turn this around. Denmark Field Farm is situated on a 90-acre plot just north of Perth. Over the course of 3 years, it's been transformed from...
This seems like propaganda. What? Wait, the guys talk about bumblebee populations, and your brain is like, this is propaganda. What?
Barren farmland to a thriving natural sanctuary that's home to a diverse array of plants and animals. It's thanks to this ambitious rewilding scheme and the appearance of more flowers that bumblebee populations have increased 116 times over. When they first started it in 2021, there were only 35 bumblebees. Now there are just over 4,000. And if that wasn't great enough,
that's
the
very
number
important.
of bee species has also doubled from 5 to 10. This is made all the more impressive by the fact that Denmark Field is located near a pretty built-up neighborhood with thousands of houses and a major road.
It's a terrible name for a city.
Their achievement is
Fuck
living
you.
proof that animals can and will bounce back in urban areas.
Hey guys,
if we
I'm
allow
from
other
Frontland, Ohio. What's up, man? I come from Iraq Falls.
nature to take hold.
Fuck.
Moving onwards and upwards, a group of volunteers has planted 750,000 trees.
Fuck, I want to kind of, I don't know, I'm a bit of a lazy bum. I'd like to join something like this.
Effort to save a critically endangered bird.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the yellow-black Regent honeyeater is found exclusively in the eucalyptus forests of Victoria and New
Fuck
South
Australia,
Wales
look at that
in
shit.
Australia. But it wasn't always like this. Hundreds of years ago, they could also be spotted pretty much everywhere on the East Coast, from Brisbane to Adelaide. But their population began nosediving in the 1800s, when colonists started chopping down forests to make room for farmland. This, in turn, led to the destruction of the nectar-producing trees that they feed on, effectively depriving them of their main food source.
Change video,
Less than
banned.
500 wild Regent honeyeaters exist today, which is why the Regent Honeyeater Project is so crucial to their survival. This
Talk about the
organization's
honeyeater, you piece
main
of shit.
objective is to
Fuck you.
restore lost
Don't respect the
habitats by
honeyeater.
planting lots and lots of trees. These are strategically placed to form forest corridors that, kind of like roads, lead the birds to the eucalyptus trees that they like to settle
Ah.
in. Conservation efforts like this have been proven to provide essential life support to these elusive creatures. Now, recently, the project celebrated the planting of 750,000 trees since its inception in the 1990s. This will not
since the
only help
1990s.
out the Regent honeyeater, but other nectar-consuming species in the area, like possums and swift
Planting
parrots.
trees seems very meta
Next
nowadays.
up is our environmental news roundup, which will kick off with yet another study that's shown the incredible benefits of using solar panels in
You're my man.
agriculture.
57
In
months.
Oh, that
since
probably
the
makes so much
father
sense.
and
Yeah,
married
oh,
and
watch
still
this. It's very-
watching the sky.
Thank you so much, Clever. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Betting a sub without a blink of an eye? Easy, man.
This Adolf Goatsberger had a moment of inspiration.
I just talked about this yesterday, about cellular punk architecture. Watch this. They're probably talking about what I said.
But first, a bit of context here. In the early 1980s, land scarcity, food security, and increased energy demand were emerging as major global concerns. At the same time, solar power was entering the global spotlight as a popular alternative to fossil fuels. Goatsberger would be the earliest to suggest applying solar technology to not only improve the productivity and yield of agriculture, but also to more efficiently use land. And with this, the field of agrivoltaics
That looks like the future right here. Holy shit. That makes Green Tommy very horny.
was born.
Look at
This
that shit.
is the space-saving practice of using
Damn.
the same patch of land for farming and solar power generation. Now,
Fucking
since
genius.
then, many benefits of agrivoltaics have been documented. The obvious one is that, well, it just needs less land. The more surprising one, though, is that it actually leads to a more productive harvest. This occurs because the shade provided by the solar panels protects
Wow,
them
that's so
from frost.
genius.
It also
It's so
shields
simple.
them
I
from
never
high
thought of this.
temperatures, which has the added advantage of lessening overall water consumption. The relationship is also two-way, because the water released from the crops keeps the solar panels cool, which optimizes power output. This has been confirmed yet again by a paper released by an international team of scientists. They found that the partial shade cover
It looks
provided
like
by
shit.
solar panels creates a microplant.
You fucking
It causes
idiot,
maize,
bro.
Swiss chard, and beans to grow in greater quantities.
Wow.
Agrivoltaics as the solution to the growing global demand
Work smarter
for
than
food
harder.
and
That's why I always say we gotta fund the scientists,
energy.
man.
Japan, for example, has fully embraced this technology by installing nearly 2,000
Wow.
agrivoltaic systems. Okay, let's take a ride to the transportation sector, because Belgrade made
Ooh, that's a thing discussed a lot in Germany, that public transport is fully for free, which is such a genius idea, right? Dude, that's what taxes are for, man. So many more people will step away from the car. The problem is you need the infrastructure so it works, but I'm a big fan of this stuff. Not so easy to be realistic, but you can work on it.
public transportation free from January 1st. Belgrade, the capital of Serbia, is honestly a driver's worst nightmare. Over the last decade alone,
everybody drives
250,000
German
more cars
BMWs
have
with
been
250,000
added to its
miles on
roads.
it.
Yet measures to handle greater traffic congestion have lagged way behind. Chief among them was the promise to construct a citywide metro system by 2030, as Belgrade is one of the only European capitals without any subway. But this project has been blighted by delays, so lawmakers have had to come up with an alternative, and this is why they've decided to make public transportation completely free. for everyone in a move designed to dissuade Serbians from using their precious automobiles. In line with this, they've also pledged to fully replace and upgrade every single bus, tram, and trolley bus by 2027. Next up, we're going to talk about medical improvement. So we'll begin with the news that the European Commission has officially banned a harmful substance in all food.
No hate, but shouldn't you have banned a harmful substance or food like the moment it was out there? Jesus.
Related products. What? Bisphenol A, or BPA, is used in the manufacturing of containers and items that...
Yeah, dude, we and Lisa call us green assholes. We never use plastic anymore. No plastic bottles ever. We're trying to really not, I mean, it's hard, right? But
that are in close contact with food and
plastic
drinks.
Is not good.
These are things like tins, reusable water bottles, vessels used in the process, transportation, and storage of food. Bisphenol
no plastic
A is
straws,
usually
no.
found in the
We have glass
coatings
straws.
and walls of these products and can sometimes seep into the...
What the fuck is wrong with that kid, buddy? What the fuck? What the fuck is that head? There might be some substance in that kit. What the fuck?
The food and drinks that
Jesus Christ.
And this is how it eventually ends up in the human body. A recent study involving citizens from 11 European Union countries revealed the presence of BPA in 92% of all participants.
Wow. Chat, we all have plastic in ourselves. Be shocked, my friends. Damn. Jesus Christ. We have so much plastic in ourselves, man. Fucking hell.
This is really concerning because...
Dude, yeah. And how did we still not fix that? Like, is it that hard?
Because BPA has been shown to have potentially adverse effects.
Lisa is very, very into this stuff, right? And she explains stuff to me. And I know you might hate me for being a little green bitch, man, but I just want to talk about it. Where you have a system where I live, it's very green here. Everybody is like a lip tart. You have a thing of bringing your own cups. You just have a cup at home, a glass or wooden cup or whatever the fuck, and you bring it to places. Hi, I'd like a coffee. Here's my cup. Please fill it up, right? Stuff like that. Is that so crazy? Is that so crazy when we have a plastic patch the size of France in the Pacific, man, you know?
On the immune system. In light of this evidence...
Like ban plastic, I'm just thinking, but imagine banning, for example, plastic toothbrushes. Make them bamboo or wooden brushes, you know? Like, is it that hard? Is that too much to ask from the people? Is that like, oh man, where's my free speech?
The European Commission has completely prohibited the use of bisphenol A in all products that touch food and drink. Starting in December 2024, the plan is to gradually phase it out over an 18-month period to avoid disruption to the supply chain. Right now, the most common replacements are bisphenol S and bisphenol F, but these are so similar in structure to BPA that they've also raised safety concerns. That's why research is currently underway to find an even safer alternative. From discontinuing chemicals...
Yeah, dude, fuck drinking plastic bottled water, man.
To introducing them. A 100% successful cancer drug.
Thank you, Toby Shinobi. Oh shit, here we go.
Has just been given approval by the FDA. Affecting about 1.9 million people a year, rectal cancer originates in the...
Oh, ass cancer.
Colon.
I always feel like, I don't know, I feel like that's what I'm gonna get one day. I always feel that. I don't know.
Otherwise known as...
It will be very ironic.
Good evening, beautiful.
Thank you, Carlsons, man. Thank you.
The large intestine, or the rectum. Presently, it's cured with a combination of chemotherapy, radiation therapy, and surgeries to remove tumors. On the other hand, though,
cut open your ass and then they nuke it.
Leads to a rash of negative side effects, chief among them being loss of fertility and bladder problems. As a result, in June of 2024, an entirely new approach was evaluated. Dostarlimab is a type of monoclonal antibody that kills cancer cells, and it's most commonly used to fight against womb cancer. During these landmark clinical trials, it won widespread acclaim when it cured the cancer of all 12 participants.
Dude, imagine how happy you are if you made it into that trial. Could you imagine you have cancer and you're like, yeah, you know, there's a trial I could get you in, I guess. And then it fucking heals you? Jesus, you must feel so good, man. You're becoming the jigsaw killer afterwards.
Yes, that sounds way too good to be true, but we promise it is. Most importantly, it prevented them from having to go through chemotherapy, radiation therapy, and surgery.
Dude.
Now, this...
I always hope by the time I or my loved ones get cancer, they already have a good cure or something, hopefully.
This 100% success story has taken a giant leap forward.
I don't believe in this. This is big pharma. This is bullshit. It hasn't been tested. I will just inject bleach if I were you, or horse tranquilizer drugs.
On the developmental path. because it's been awarded Breakthrough Therapy designation. This means that further research into dostarlimab is going to be prioritized by the FDA for the foreseeable future. If these exciting
I don't believe. There's witchcraft. No. I'm so funny, man. Jesus, I'm such a great
it can be
streamer.
rolled out to healthcare systems in as little as 3 years once testing.
Oh
is
shit, I need a little break, man.
Let's dip our toe back into the medical world one more time, because according to a major survey, most US teens don't like to drink, smoke, or use marijuana. The monitoring
What
of
happened?
US teens
Most US teens don't like to drink or smoke. Yeah, that's like a good thing about the GigaChat movement, dude. Take care of your body, all right? Just work out. Stop drinking and smoking. That's a good thing.
don't like to drink, smoke, or
We
use
need a bit of
marijuana.
that GigaChat
The
movement.
Monitoring the Future survey is a yearly quiz given to 8th, 10th, and 12th grade students. It's been around since 1975 and asks teens what they think about things like drugs.
It's because
In
they take
2024,
fentanyl now.
24,000 adolescents took part, and the results have completely
What kind of classroom is that? That might be the richest school ever. That is the richest kid. And buddy, what happened? Did you fail 5 fucking years of classes? Bro, it's like 3 years older than everyone. What the fuck, dude? Look how rich that looks. Dude, I come from a GDR room, dude. We didn't have stuff like that. Fuck me, that's the most beautiful room I've ever seen. But no pictures and stuff. What the fuck?
shocked researchers who expected to discover
This guy. What the fuck?
a rise in use. The key to understanding their prediction is the COVID-19 pandemic. The buildup effect of lockdowns and social distancing led to a swift decrease in alcohol and drug consumption. This is at least partially due to the fact that this behavior, which is driven by peer pressure,
You guys don't look like you're 20. Well, they kind of do. Sorry, no, they look 20. She doesn't look 20. She looks like 27. But that guy looks 20, yeah.
usually happens when young people are spending time together in groups. The logic was that when the world opened up and teens started hanging out again, there would be a sharp increase. That's why scholars were astonished to find that levels have declined even further. The biggest takeaway was that 2/3 of 12th graders reported that they hadn't consumed alcohol, marijuana, cigarettes, or e-cigarettes.
Yeah, if you're honest, it's just dumb. I mean, you're young. If you're young, you do mistakes. My fucking God, you and your friends are out. You fucking smoke a bit. I fucking get it. Jesus Christ, right? But at some point, you gotta be like, hey, I'm 24 years old now. Maybe I should stop drinking that much.
Past month, this makes it the highest rate of abstinence since 20.
I know it's annoying, and you're like, shut up, Tommy. But I'm a little tiny bit on a health trip lately. And all I'm saying, okay, hate me all you want. You genuinely feel fucking better if you do healthy decisions. Sorry, okay? But lately I'm like, let's eat, no trash. I never drink and smoke. I work out a bit. You feel better. You feel so much better, man. I feel like a young man, dude. I could like wake 5 times a day, bro. It's crazy.
2017. The other age groups
Just trying to make you healthy, boys, okay?
80%
Eat an
of 10th
apple.
graders and 90% of 8th graders said the same thing.
I have a thing now I do. Legit, I go every single day to a grocery store and I buy 4 oranges. And then I drink an orange juice every day. I love orange juice, man. Nice.
In all, the findings seem to suggest that the pandemic has had a much bigger influence on overall attitudes than previously thought. I guess the pandemic was good for something, at least.
Yeah, my bank account. What?
Last
Hey.
off, we have our society segment. So we're going to cover a new airline refund policy that's taken effect in the USA. Have you ever had a flight that's been canceled or severely delayed? I certainly have, and it's the most annoying thing
I
in the
hate
entire
flying.
world.
Flying is such a bad
You know
experience.
what airline you are?
You have to go early, and then you're stuck in that airport with all these strangers, and they fucking go through your stuff, and then you sit next to a weird guy, and you're like, this is playing on a crash. I hate flying.
And I will never forgive you. What's even more frustrating, though, is trying to get your money back afterwards. That's because, at least until recently, companies had the power to set their own refund policies on delayed flights, meaning that they differ
How's that
from
legal?
airline to airline. Unclear guidelines, waiting hours on customer service lines, and extra paperwork often make this process even more infuriating. God, just talking about this makes me angry. Did I mention that I really don't like flying? That's why the United States government has passed a new law implemented since the end of October that more clearly defines and makes it easier for passengers to secure refunds. Now, it's the duty of
2025, and that's when we secure refunding for that shit? Like, shouldn't that have been a thing 80 years ago?
the airline to automatically dispense refunds if certain conditions
I
are
hate
met.
airports. Who the
Just
fuck likes
like before,
airports, man?
airlines are still required by law.
Dad, I'm really hungry. Let me eat something on the airport. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, wait, it's Burger King, Kebab, McDonald's, and Subway, man. Fuck yeah, that's cool.
Reimburse costs for canceled flights, but now delayed flights are also included in the legal framework. If domestic flights are late by 3 hours or more, or international flights are delayed by 6 hours or more, then airlines have to pay up within
you gotta keep them responsible.
credit card purchases and 20 days
How
for
is that
all other
new?
forms of payment. Additionally, if luggage is delayed, in-flight services such as Wi-Fi don't work, or they're downgraded to a
Been busy
lower
with my classes, but still got time to sub.
What classes are you attending to? What's going on there? Thank you, man.
class, consumers are also entitled to compensation. And that's really good to know for our next trip to Zimbabwe, where the death penalty has finally been abolished. At the moment, there are 60 prisoners on death row in Zimbabwe. That makes it a little confusing to learn that the last execution there happened all the way back in 2005. And that's because most Zimbabweans don't
Yo, Tommy, when are you going to start eating on stream just like Hassan does? That's the best part of his stream.
I'm yanking my pizzle. When will Lisa says the potato soup is done? Thank you, man. Later, I will do it later.
really like.
I will take a little break in a sec, because I want to see my family for a sec right before the game. We're also going to start streaming on YouTube. I still need to make a thumbnail
the
in a
idea of the
second.
death penalty. In fact, part of the reason why it's been so long is that the state has struggled to find people who want to hang criminals for a living. Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, definitely a little bit of a tough sell, right? This is why the nation's parliament voted to mostly abolish the death penalty in early December, a motion that's just been approved by President Emerson Mnangagwa. I say mostly because there is a clause that says that it can be reintroduced during state emergencies. In the past, the Zimbabwean leader, who was himself sentenced to death during the country's civil war, only for it to be commuted, has strongly opposed capital punishment. He's even gone as far as pardoning several inmates during his time in office. It's hoped that other countries in Africa who are currently toying with the idea of getting rid of it, like Kenya, Liberia, and Ghana, will now follow Zimbabwe's lead.
When will you interview
for our
terrorists on
concluding
stream?
headline,
I don't know
we're
if Bisha's
heading to
available
Brazil,
lately.
where poverty and extreme poverty have reached their lowest levels since 2012. Despite being the largest economy in South
Look
America,
at Rio,
Brazil
Alter. What a crazy city, dude. Look at the slums. It's like you're playing Anno, and you're like, I'm building a nice city. Sir, you're not paying attention to the needs of your citizens. So you get these random spawned in slums, and you're just like, fuck, what am I going to do about that? Deko, look at that shit. It's kind of beautiful. But I heard it's a very dangerous city, very dangerous.
has historically suffered
They're
from
very
high
careful.
levels of impoverishment. This leads us to the welcome news that the country's poverty rate is now the lowest it's ever been. According to the most recent figures, poverty, which is defined as earning less than $110
Wow.
per household per month, declined from 31.6%
Holy
to 27.4% between 2022 and 23.
When was... Oh, sorry, shit. When was Bolsonaro ousted?
2022 and 23. That means in the space of a single year, 8.7 million Brazilians vastly improved
Is it after
their financial
Bolsonaro?
situation. It's the same story with extreme poverty, which is
This is
defined as
after
earning
Bolsonaro.
less than
There you go.
$35 a month. 3.1 million more people have escaped it. The expansion of social assistance programs and higher employment are the two key factors that explain this change. More specifically, the Bolsa Familia program can take a lot of the credit for this.
Wait, Bolsonaro is gone, but they call this program the Bolsa program? Is this anything to do with Bolsonaro? What the fuck's going on?
Instituted in 2003, it offers monthly financial support to poor families.
Bolsa Familias help millions of Brazilians. It's the government's flagship anti-poverty
Bolsa just means bag. Oh, okay. It means shopping bag.
program.
Oh, okay.
These payments, which average about
And Bolsonaro means no bags for you fuckers.
$13 a month, have been vital because they've allowed small businesses to expand and thrive. This has had the knock-on effect of creating more jobs and larger incomes, which has stimulated a sharp
If poor people have money, they actually help the economy and people and business can grow. Wow. Crazy.
reduction in unemployment. Okay, we did it. We made it to the end of the video. That was a lot of fun, right?
She slipped through my fingers like sand. Heard that she had a man. Now I'm just sitting here sad. Oh well, shit sail. She slipped through my fingers like sand.